I mean, y'all can hate me. You all can harass me. You all can be hurtful to me.
Alyssa Milano. Yep. The American actress and self-proclaimed social justice warrior has once again managed to stir up a social media storm. And honestly, at this point, no one's shocked. Instead, the internet is straight up roasting her. Hard. From ditching her Tesla for a Volkswagen and sparking a whole new controversy, to asking for donations on GoFundMe, Alyssa just can't seem to catch a break. Even her own peers are calling her out. It's been a non-stop train wreck. But let's be real, it's the kind of chaos we just can't look away from.
Is that I have women from all over the world who see me and come over to me.
So let's take a look at how the absolute Hollywood queen ended up being destroyed left and right by Hollywood celebrities and beyond.
I mean, I was always on the receiving end of trolls, right?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, it doesn't feel any different.
It all kicked off when Alyssa decided to pick a fight with none other than Elon Musk. And let's be real, Hollywood's had a collective meltdown ever since Musk took over Twitter.
One good thing about Elon buying Twitter is that I will finally leave and stop being a complete menace to society on here. So it's a win-win for all of you, really.
The idea of a platform where conservative voices weren't being censored, for them, it was the ultimate nightmare. Some celebrities went as far as deleting their accounts, while others made dramatic public statements, vowing to never support Twitter again.
Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. I'm a little frightened for Twitter, frankly. What about you?
I just quit it, you know.
But Alyssa? Oh, she took it a step further. She went straight for Musk's wallet. In a tweet to her 3.5 million followers, Alyssa declared she was done with her Tesla and would be swapping it out for a Volkswagen electric vehicle. Alyssa claimed she couldn't support a company led by Musk, accusing him of cozying up to hate and white supremacy. Bold move, right? She probably thought the woke crowd would be cheering her on. But things took a turn. Instead of becoming the hero of the internet, Alyssa turned into its latest punchline. Why? Well, she conveniently overlooked one tiny, awkward detail. Volkswagen was founded by Nazis. Yep, you heard that right. She traded in her Tesla for a car company with deep ties to Adolf Hitler. And of course, the internet wasted no time calling her out. I mean, really fast. The Hodge twins, known for their savage conservative commentary, fired off a brutal tweet. Volkswagen was literally founded by Nazis and Hitler, you clown.
I proudly stand with Alyssa Milano, who bravely tweeted today that she returned her Tesla. Because now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, she's not going to support a company that openly endorses hate speech and white supremacy. So she went out and she got a Volkswagen, which is a company that was founded by hardworking socialists in Germany in the 1930s. They called themselves the Nazis. They were led by a guy named Adolf Hitler. And I don't know much else about them, but I'm sure that they didn't stand for hate speech and white supremacy like Elon Musk does.
The tweet blew up, racking up 110,000 likes, more than double the engagement on Alyssa's original post. Even Elon Musk himself jumped in on the roasting, replying with a crying, laughing emoji and a 100 symbol, perfectly capturing how absurd the situation had become.
Somebody replied and said, no one ever accused her of being intelligent. And the person said she tweeted it on a platform owned by him, thus still support Elon. Yeah, Alyssa Milano is saying all of this, yet she is not leaving Twitter. She's just bringing more traffic to his app. You ridiculous human being.
But instead of owning up to her colossal blunder, Alyssa doubled down. And what's worse than making a massive mistake, going on national television to defend it? Yep, she went on The View, of all places, to justify her Tesla to Volkswagen swap. In classic Alyssa fashion, she launched into a bizarre rant about how Musk should have spent $40 billion ending world hunger instead of buying Twitter. Seriously, though, she was completely missing the point of her own argument.
But also, I'm kind of I'm so annoyed with all of these billionaires, with like the exception of a few, but especially Elon Musk. Like, you buy Twitter to destroy it for $40 billion, right? $40 billion. Elon Musk, imagine if he donated that money to UNICEF.
I know. Yeah.
He would change the world. There would be no hunger.
Alyssa didn't stop there. Oh no. She took it up a notch by bringing up Musk's personal issues, accusing him of sexual misconduct, and claiming it would be hypocritical to keep driving a Tesla.
Well, I mean, for me, speaking of Me Too, when he was accused of sexual misconduct and paid out $250,000 to this person, I decided, like, I can't live in that hypocrisy of driving that car when, that happened.
But her argument landed completely tone deaf. She also failed to mention a few key facts, like how Twitter's actually thriving under Musk's leadership. Daily active users are at an all-time high, and hate speech? Reportedly down since he took over. These are details she conveniently ignored. Watching Alyssa try to articulate her thoughts was painful, to say the least. Even the co-hosts of The View looked visibly uncomfortable as she rambled on, at one point going off on a tangent about billionaires, while sitting there as a millionaire herself, blissfully unaware of the irony. But just when you thought the Tesla fiasco was behind her, Alyssa somehow managed to spark yet another controversy. This time, it wasn't about cars, it was about baseball. In a move that left the internet shaking their heads, Alyssa posted a GoFundMe for her son's baseball team, asking her followers to donate $10,000 to help fund their trip. That's right, Alyssa Milano, a millionaire, asking regular people for money. Normally, a celebrity supporting their kids' extracurricular activities wouldn't raise eyebrows, right? Except when that celebrity is worth millions and $10,000 is basically pocket change. Here's the kicker. Alyssa Milano isn't just your average celebrity. She's reportedly worth $10 million. And her husband, David Bugliari, he's a high-powered agent at CAA, one of the most prestigious talent agencies in Hollywood. Between the two of them, they could fund the entire team's trip 10 times over without even blinking. Yet here she was, asking regular people, many of whom are struggling to make ends meet in this economy, to donate money. And surprise, surprise, the internet was not happy. One fan tweeted, "Alyssa Milano is worth $10 million, asking the plebs to pay for her kid's vacation. You can't make this up." Another chimed in, "Why is she asking for money from people who can barely afford groceries?" And honestly, they weren't wrong. The whole thing screamed hypocrisy. But how did Alyssa handle the backlash? In true Alyssa fashion, she didn't own up to her mistake or admit that maybe she was a little out of touch. Nope. Instead, she quietly disabled the comments on her GoFundMe page, effectively silencing her critics. And if that wasn't enough, she went on a bizarre spree of retweeting old crowdfunding campaigns from years ago, desperately trying to justify her actions. That's right, she scoured the internet for past campaigns to make it seem like what she was doing was totally normal. Spoiler, it wasn't. Oh, and just to add more fuel to the fire, she attended the Super Bowl shortly after posting that GoFundMe link. Because why not? Just when you thought Alyssa Milano couldn't possibly dig herself into a deeper hole, she went and did the unthinkable. Days after begging her followers to donate for her son's baseball trip, she was spotted cruising around in a $200,000 Porsche Taycan, complete with a custom paint job that reportedly cost $144,000. Yes, you heard that right. She's driving a car worth more than most people's homes, while asking for donations that cost less than her paint job. Naturally, the internet exploded. One user tweeted, "You're riding around in a $200,000 car but can't fund your son's trip? Seriously, Alyssa?" Others pointed out the sheer irony. How someone who constantly preaches about equality and equity was flaunting her wealth in the most tone-deaf way possible. And the questions didn't stop there. People started wondering if she ever even bought that Volkswagen she bragged about on Twitter. After all, she was spotted in a Porsche just days after the whole Tesla meltdown. Did she quietly ditch the Volkswagen after getting roasted for promoting a car with Nazi roots? Yeah, maybe. But it wasn't just regular folks calling Alyssa out. Even some of her Hollywood peers began distancing themselves. And let's be real, Hollywood is a town built on image. When that image starts to crack, so does your career.
Feeling attacked by a co-star.
Right now, Alyssa Milano's image is taking a serious beating, and even her former co-stars are growing frustrated with her for a whole list of reasons. The feud between former Charmed co-stars Rose McGowan and Alyssa Milano reached new levels of brutality when Rose publicly called out Alyssa for alleged toxic behavior on set. The actresses clashed on social media after McGowan criticized the Democratic Party for, in her words, accomplishing nothing following the final night of the Democratic National Convention. Milano didn't hold back in her response. She fired back with a tweet that read, in part,
Rose, your lies are going to hurt people less privileged than you. This is the kind of thing an actual fraud would do. Thousands of people are dying every day, but you continue with your hyperbolic, attention-seeking tweets.
McGowan didn't stay silent either. She retaliated with a barrage of accusations claiming Milano had stolen the Me Too movement from its founder, Tarana Burke, to boost her own fame. Rose also suggested that Milano was jealous of her for outing her rapist, and then went on to accuse Alyssa of being difficult to work with on Charmed. According to McGowan, Milano once threw a fit in front of the crew, yelling that she wasn't getting paid enough. McGowan added,
I cried every time we got renewed because you made that set toxic AF. Now get off my coattails, you f***ing fraud.
In typical Alyssa fashion, she responded by doing what she does best, blocking Rose on Twitter.
Rose has been incredibly publicly unkind, to say the least, to my family and me for many years now, whether it's directed at me or other marginalized communities.
What started as a desperate attempt to virtue signal has spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster for Alyssa Milano. Every move she makes just seems to dig her deeper into the pit of internet mockery.
And I kind of feel like, you know, in the 90s, everything was hypersexualized. But also, for me, those were the roles I was offered.
Alyssa Milano has become the ultimate example of how not to navigate social media in today's world. One thing's for sure, the internet never forgets, especially when it comes to hypocrisy. And the craziest part? Alyssa isn't stopping. She's doubling, tripling, even quadrupling down on her woke antics.
I have to tell you, first of all, I wish I was there so I could hug you. Oh, no. But second of all, and look at us. I mean, I was trying to figure out, it's been about 35 years that we've both been in each other's circles, which is...
That's exactly right.
All while living in her own little bubble, blissfully unaware of how out of touch she sounds. It's like she's convinced she can fool everyone. So what's next for our self-proclaimed woke queen? Will she finally realize she's knee-deep in a PR nightmare? Or will she keep digging herself deeper into this rabbit hole, still believing she's the hero in her own story?